3 weeks ago, I was in Costa Rica, living one of the most beautiful days of my life. Pacific coast, sitting on the beach, beautiful wave, sound of the ocean, eating papayas, sunset, palms, sharing with two of my best friends one of the deepest conversation that I had. Do you know what were we speaking about? Pain. Why? Why we speak about pain in that type of moments? Because there is something that it's inevitable in our lives, and that's pain. We all are gonna experience pain in one moment or another. Even the happiest moment at some moment will turn into a painful moment. Can be a direct pain, can be an indirect pain, but we will experience it. Pain will come unexpected, may come on a phone call, may come on an email, may come on an uncomfortable encounter or talk, but we will leave pain. And pain was actually what bring me to my happiest life in Costa Rica. 3 years ago, pain called me, straightforward. Pain usually sometimes does that. My mom's husband was diagnosed with cancer, with lung cancer. You know this type of cancers that in just a few months led you to be straightforward in front of the door of a palliative care room. Have you been in a palliative care room? Palliative care room is a dark place. It has a white shiny light, but it also brings some dark vibe. It has an intense and nauseous smell. You can really taste and feel what's coming up there. It's a very interesting fact of a palliative care room that nobody tells you, and is that in front of that door there is an invisible line that in the moment that you cross that line, the last piece of hope that you have, it turns into a sorrow, it turns into a devastation, it turns into sadness. So I had to hold my mom's hand and walk inside of the room and see in front of my eyes how life fade out over a smile. He was an amazing guy. He was always smiling. You know this type of people that always has a new joke every breakfast, lunch, and dinner? It's smiling. I mean, they were not the best jokes, for sure not. But who am I to judge someone that spends his life laughing and who makes my mom laugh every day? And that was actually my epiphany. That was actually what made me think when my life of smiles, how long is gonna take to God, universe, destiny, whatever you wanna call it, how long is gonna take to turn my life of smiles into a pain call? Am I realizing my dreams? Am I living my happiest life ever? Or do I still hold my biggest dreams into a corner box somewhere, somehow? So I decided to move and go for my biggest dream at that moment, which was creating real impact in our oceans. I wanted to start doing something that turns my day by day into restoring marine ecosystems really in action, something that it's really palpable and tangible. So I jump on a plane on my way to Costa Rica without knowing how, why, when, who, and all these questions that everyone tells you. I arrived to Costa Rica and I started emailing marine biologists. Rented a car and started going from north to south, getting to know people, diving, understanding more about marine ecosystem, understanding what is going on and what are the threats to our ocean, and how can we take part in our day-by-day actions to improve that. It was curious, but in a matter of time, I started really doing day by day actions that turned into be an inspiration for more people. We went from planting a couple of dozen of corals by 4 or 5 people to be 30 or 40 in a boat, planting a couple of hundreds. And that continues on the day to day. And my life switched. Suddenly, I was living on a nice village in Costa Rica, surfing every morning, enjoying, surrounded by nature, enjoying sweetie papayas, beautiful sunsets every day. And I was like, what happened? How that did my life turn into the entrance of a palliative care room to living my happiest life ever? What did happen? And I found an answer, and was meaning. Everything that I did in Costa Rica, all my journey, bring me meaning. Something that went beyond me, beyond my own selfness, beyond the recognition, beyond the economical return, beyond everything. I was inspiring people, I was inspiring communities, I was helping restore our oceans, I was inspiring kids to take care of the environment. I was inspiring even people abroad. We were really doing something every day. And you know, wasn't the easiest moment of my life. I was happy, I'll say that, but it wasn't easy. I have to wake up every morning and continue pursuing my dreams, even though my economical situation was not the best, because my company was coming out from COVID. I had nobody understood what I was doing there. Actually, neither myself sometimes. And I had to continue waking up every morning to do this. But you know, there is a day that happened something that it really was a tipping point in my life. And it's like I had my mom coming and planting corals with me. That smile, that smile is from a woman who suffered the loss of his beloved just a couple of years before. For me, being able to bring that smile into my mom's face, it's something that fulfilled my heart in a way that I've never had fulfilled before. Not any hour, not any check, not any achievement was compared to having this. You know a fun fact of this, that it didn't inspire just me. My mom came back, and now every time I go to pick her up from work, I have all her colleges coming and asking me, how are the environmental projects going? I meet people who became ocean advocates now through that smile. And that's something that fulfills my heart. Wow, 2 years. Intense, powerful 2 years, life, death, meaning. It led me to one question. One simple question. Why didn't I do this before? Why do I had to have pain hit me straight forward in order to start pursuing my dreams? What does it stop us to pursue our dreams? Simple answer. Fear. Fear. I always had fear. My entire life I had fear. I'm not talking about the fear of heights, spiders, or snakes that I might have it. I'm talking about the deep existential fears. I had fear of not being good enough. Did anyone had fear of not being good enough? Any time? I had fear of not making a difference, of not making an impact, of not being recognized. Sounds familiar? I had fear of changing. I have fear of not fitting. I had fear of loneliness, of following a different path. And that made me try to fit, made me try to go on the path, look for achievement, look for recognition, but never pursue the path of my dreams. You know, I won't save the planet. I won't save the oceans. I won't save the corals. I'll try it. I promise to try it and do my best for it, but I don't know if I'm going to achieve it. I know that using a plastic bottle or not doesn't make a really big difference. The beaches that we love, they're not going to get cleaner. I know that buying a car or not, eating meat or not, living a more sustainable, less sustainable, won't save the world. But what I really do know is that makes a huge change of my life experience. My journey through an impactful life impacts everyone I meet every day, including the people I most love. There's a quote that has been on my life since a lot of time. The quote is from Joseph Campbell. For the ones who doesn't know, who don't know Joseph Campbell, Campbell studied all the myths of all human history, from Buddhists to medieval, from Vedas to Aztecs, everyone, all the myths, all the stories, and he came up with this simple quote: "The cave you enter, the cave you fear to enter, holds the treasure you seek." And that's a quote that defines my day by day, every day. I wake up every day, today, before a TED Talk. And do you know who I meet the first? My fears. Not good enough. Not ready. Da da da. Da da da. They're all there. They're all there every day of my life. The difference is that today, the same way I had to hold my mom's hand and enter to a palliative care room, I hold the hand of my fears. I'll walk through the path of my dreams. I know that one day pain will call me again. And when that call happens, I want to be pursuing my biggest dreams. And yeah, I got the surfer, papaya eater, coral planter one. Check. I have a new ones now. They say biggest serendipity came from mistakes. I don't know. My biggest serendipity came out from walking through my fears. And if there is one simple question that I want to ask you and that I want to keep with you is, where are you going to be the next time that pain calls you? Are you going to be inside of the cave dancing with your dreams or still waiting outside? Thank you.